capital, natural resource, and technology. So we doesn't see that price level affects GDP. So we prove that according to the assumptions, right? So in the long terms, price doesn't affect real GDP. So that's why the curve is vertical. Second, list and explain 3 reasons that AD curve is downward slope. So I don't need to tell you again because I already tell you in the slide. There are 3 reasons why AD curve has positive, negative slope, which are these 3 reasons. So we can explain by wealth effects, interest rate effects, and exchange rate effects. Every time that you explain the slope of the graph, we just begin by price change. Right? When price change, what happened to real GDP? So the graph just move along the curve. Okay, so this thing I don't need to explain to you because I tell you already in the slide. But you should explain this effect. When you see this when you see this kind of questions, it's meaning that they let you to explain, not just only answer that. Oh, lecturer, it have 3 effects and that is. So you need to explain because in the writing exams, you need to explain something, not just only write a short answers. I want long answers. Okay, so this one is the answers. What might shift the AD curve to the left? Okay, so I just asked you first, can you help me answer? What is the factors that make AD curve to shift? Okay, consumption chain, investment, government spending, and okay, then export. Okay, and AS curve. What make AS curve to shift? What factors that make AS curve to shift? AS curve can be long run AS curve, short run AS curve, right? Can you tell me long run AS curve? What factors that make LRAS shift? First one. What can affect the level of output that firm produce? Capital, yes. Any other? Capitals can be physical capital and human capital. Next one, labor chain. Any other? Technology, and another one, natural resource. So these 4 factors can make LRAS curve and short run AS curve to shift as well. However, the difference is just only the time period, which the questions will tell you that this factor change in long terms or not. Long terms is the period that more than 1 year. So if I say that they have a bad weather for 2 years, so you know that it's long-term effects. But if the question doesn't say about the period that this factor change in the long terms or not, so I think you just assume that this one is just only the short-term change because all of the shock usually happen in short terms. Okay, but if it's long-term, they will tell you that this is long-term change, so you definitely know it. Can you tell me, in fact, there are another factors that make SRAS curve to shift, short run AS curve to shift, which is apart from that 4 factors that you tell me. There are 1 factor that make short run AS curve to shift, which are something. Yeah, okay. So your friends at the front just answer it correctly. Expected price, okay, the change in expected price can make the shift of the SRAS. But long run AS is not expected price. Okay, so long run AS curve shift is just only that 4 factors. But short run AS, we have that kind of 1 more factors. Why it shift to the left? Because of this factor reduce, so that's why the curve shift to the left, right? But if all factors increase, so the graph shift to the right. Explain 3 theory why short run AS curve is upward slope. I already tell you that 3 theory, which yeah, so this one. So this is 3 theory that make Is that right? Yeah, upward slope, yes. So this tree theory usually used to explain why SR, short run AS curve have slope upward. I told you already, so you just go back and review. Okay. So remember that not just only explain this theory, just not just only tell that we have sticky wave, sticky price, so you should explain it as well. Okay. Number five, they have some events happen. However, they just let you see that if this situation happen, what LRS change, but in fact, it's not clear to me whether it will be an LRAS or short run AS. So you just put a slat on and saying that it can be SRAS as well. But the aims of this question is just let you see the situation and just analyze by yourself whether the AS curve should be increased or reduced. Okay, but it's not clear to me whether it's long run or short run, but just let this situation to just practice yourself whether you will shift AS rightward or leftward. Okay, first one, the US experienced a wave of immigration. So what factor change is labor change, right? So labor is the factor that can make SRAS or LRAS to change. So do you think that the AS will increase or reduce during this situation? A wave of immigration. So there are some of the movement of people inside the country. So AS will increase, yes, or AS will shift rightward. Congress increase the minimum wage. Increase the wage. Wage is the cost of hiring labor. So I think this one is the factor related to labor as well. So do you think when you increase minimum wage, do labor want to work more or not? More. Labor want to work more, so there are more labor in that work in the market. So that's why LRAS or SRAS will increase or reduce? Increase, yes. More wage to you, so the labor want to work, so AS increase. Because it's not clear whether it's short-term, long-term, so I just let you practice how the graph change. Intel invent a new and more powerful computer chip, so you think what factors? Labor, natural resource, capital, or technology? What factors? Technology, because it invent a new things. Okay, so even the computers can be capital as well, but the keyword is they invent a new thing. So it will be technological change, which technological improve or increase. So it makes AS to increase or reduce? Increase. Or shift rightward? Yes, shift rightward. A severe hurricane damage factory along the east coast. So what factors? Hurricane damage. What factors? Natural resource, and it has some of the natural disasters. So what AS change? AS change, AS increase or reduce? Reduce, so you cannot produce. So AS will shift leftward. So I think that the best thing for you to gain score of this analysis, because you know that we have 4 factors that affect the graph. So when you see this situation, right? So you just tell me that what factor change before you say to me that AS will increase or reduce. So just let me to, just show me that you know that, okay, this factor is the factor related to adequate supply. Okay. Suppose the economy is in the long run equilibrium. Highlight here, if a stock market crash happen, draw a diagram to illustrate what happened. Okay, just you see the keyword here. What happened to ADAS, output price in long run and short run? So you know that they just asked you these chapters because is this a long run chain, short run chain? Stock market crash what is stock market? Is portfolio investments. So the keyword is investment, right? So what graph shift first? AD or AS? AD, definitely AD. AD increase or reduce? Stock market crash. Investment reduce, you should tell me first. Investment reduce and then AD reduce. So that's why AD curve shift leftward. So in the short run, AD we shift leftward first. So you will get the same situation as the example in the slide. So I don't need to explain to you again because AD curve will shift left. Right? So the same, and you explain as the same. In short terms, AD shift leftward, price reduce, quantities of output reduce. In long term, what happened? In long terms, because price reduce, so people will know more information about price change, so they will just reduce their expected price to equal to actual price. So you see when the expected price reduce, short run AS curve increase again because the firm thinking that they face with low cost of production because expected price reduce. So short run AS shift rightward again and you go back to the equilibrium. So same situation. Okay, same situation that you already write in the slide. But I just change the factors and let you analyze. I think this one is not difficult, but just first thinking what happened to the graph. I think number 7 is too difficult. Number 7 is too difficult. So in fact, you just ignore number 7, okay? But I just tell you of what happened, okay? But in fact, you don't need to take not need to serious much about number 7. But I just tell you that this one just for your knowledge because I think it can be helpful when you analyze something, but I think it's too difficult for you. So I just tell you what happened. They're saying that the US is not yet fully recovered from Great Depression. So it means that right now, highlight here, right now the economy is not yet in the full employment equilibrium. So that's why I say number 7 is quite difficult because they just set the first situation that the equilibrium at first is not yet recovered from Great Depression. So it means that the first equilibrium is not full employment, which in fact you doesn't see when you study with me. So that's why I think you can ignore these questions. So, but I just tell you what happened if you want to know, just for your knowledge, because it's quite interesting as well, because it's quite an advanced questions. Okay, so let you see. So this one is full employment equilibrium that you analyze everything on point A, right? But in these questions, the starting point should be changed. So we cannot just draw like this. So we have to draw like this for this, just only for this question. So this one, LRAS. So this one, remember, is full employment. Output. So this is the starting point of this graph because the economy is not yet recovered from full employment. So that's why the starting point should be cut at this level at point A. The point that below than the full employment to represent that this one is, we have Great Depression. Okay, but it's too advanced. for this thing. So you can ignore this in fact. And I just go back a little bit. The question say what happened? President proclaimed Thanksgiving would fall a week earlier than usual so that the shopping period, shopping period before Christmas would be longer. So what happened is that shopping period longer. So interesting to analyze. So what do you think? What graph shift? Shopping period. Shopping period before Christmas look like during Christmas period they have the sale. They have a lot of sale. They have a lot of promotions during Christmas. The situation say the shopping period before Christmas will be longer. So there are a lot of sale, a lot of shop opens before Christmas. So what do you think? What of these factors that can affect AD curve or AS curve? What do you think? Shopping period longer, they have a lot of promotion or of the shop open. So what you do? Go shopping. When you go shopping, what factor change? When you go shopping, consumption change. So we go shopping, consumption change, and AD curve will shift. So in this case, consumption increase, AD increase. So what happened here is that the graph AD will shift rightward from AD0 to AD1. Okay. Before at P0, what happened is that AD shift here, supplies here, we have excess demand. Excess demand of goods and service, and then price increase to P1. So in fact, the starting point is quite advanced, it's quite difficult, but I just let you analyze in terms of what happened if the question say shopping period longer, you go shopping, AD curve shift rightward. What happened here right now, actual price will be higher. So right now at point, for example, at point B, graph shift at point B. At point B, right now, actual price increase. The actual price bigger than the expected price. So what people say when the time passes, people will adjust their expected price to equal, so they will increase the expected price. So when they increase that expected price, what happened? So they're thinking that, in the future they have high cost of production, right? Expected price increase, they have more inflation. If I want to hire more labor, I need to give them more wage. Or if I want to produce some things, I need to buy the factors of production with very high cost. So high cost of production. So SRAS reduced. So after this, SRAS will go back. So SRAS changed from But in fact, okay, stop before you're writing something. Because the end point, in fact, the end point should be at the point that AS, AD, and LRS cut together. But if we shift further, the graph will be not go back to equilibrium. Okay. So in fact, because I think this one is so difficult, in fact, SRAS should be shift rightward. But if I shift rightward, you will see that the point should be here. Okay, which still at the point, which still at the point lower than full employment. I think this one can happen because the question just said the situation at first that the economy is not yet fully recovered from the depression. So that's why even you shift the graph, full employment, the point AD and AS should be below that full employment. But you see that the point just a little bit go further from Q0 to Q1, just going up a little bit. Okay, but usually this kind of situation is not what you see in the slide and not you see in what I'm teaching you. But I just give you for knowledge and I just tell you that you can ignore these questions, okay, because it's so difficult. But I just let you see that this is the type of question that is quite an applied questions. That the situation will be the equilibrium point is lower than full employment. And even you change some things, it's still not recovered from equilibrium yet. But in the future, it's government try to pushing more AD more in the future. Maybe when you shift graph, it can go back to its equilibrium. Okay, but anyway, you can ignore that. But I just tell you what happened. Okay, just for your knowledge. Okay, but because I not want you to stick with what we learn for exams. But you can see that you can just analyze, even you guys can analyze the case when we have more difficult things. Okay, so we go back to what we learned. Number 8. Okay. If the central bank raise money supply, raise money supply. Use the diagram to show what happened. Money supply chain, there are a lot of money in the market. Now what happened? Do you think AD curve or AS curve shift? You see the type of question, they not tell you directly that C, I, G, N, X or capital, labor, whatever change directly. But you need to think further more what happened when you get more money. Okay, right now you have more money, right? Money supply increase, you have more money. What do you do when you have more money? Spend more, yes. Spend more, what you do with your spending? Consume more, invest more. Okay, so when money supply increase, people will consume more, invest more. And what graph shift? AD. AD shift, AD increase or reduce? Increase, and AD will start to shift rightward first. So this is the case that on the opposite way with this graph, which in fact I tell you already in the when I just teach you, right? So this one, the graph AD shift leftward and then SRAS curve shift rightward. But in the situation that the opposite way, so we shift AD rightward first. Okay, so this one I tell you already. So this one is the opposite way. Okay, so we shift AD first, and then after that, short run AS curve shift leftward back. Okay, now we have 3 questions left. Number 9 is quite interesting. It's quite, I don't think it's difficult, but it's for the one that have to review for a while and then they will know it, okay? So number 9 is quite interesting. You see, if the president appoint new chairman, this new chairman is well known for his view that inflation, highlight here, inflation is not a major problem for an economy. How would this new affect the price that people would expect? Highlight here. What this new affect the price that people would expect? So there are some situations happen, and the question say it will affect the expected price. You see, it will affect the price level that people expect. So it means that there's something happen and it will affect the expected price. How this new affects on price and quantity of output, maybe in long run and short run. So there are some things that affect the expected price, and you already know from me that when expected price change, what graph shift? AS. So it should be short run AS, right? Definitely it's not long run because expected price change. So now you're getting a clue that I need to shift SRAS, but how I shift, you see. If you are the Federal Reserve President and I announce to all of you that I not care about inflation, I not care about inflation. If it increase, reduce, I not care. Do you think that the expected price in the future will increase or reduce? I not care about inflation. So what do you think? Expected price in the future will increase or reduce? Increase or reduce? Increase, yes, because I not care inflation. What is mean by inflation? Inflation is the meaning that price will increase, right? So if I say I not care about inflation, I not want to stop it. So you can expect that the expected price increase. So when the expected price increase, SRAS will increase or reduce. Do you want to produce? When expected price increase, do you want to produce? No. Okay, why you not want to produce? Because when firm thinking that the price will increase in the future, I have more cost of production in the future. If I hire more labor, I need to pay them more wage. If I want to build something, building the factory, I need to pay for the construction and everything. The cost is high. So I don't want to produce. So when I don't want to produce, SRAS will shift leftward or rightward? Left, yes. So it will be definitely the case, the same as what happened in the slide. AS curve will shift leftward first in short term. You just shift it, right? Explain. And then in long term, what happened? AS curve will continue to shift leftward until the price reach to its peak, and then after that it go down. And when it go down, it go back to the full employment equilibrium as usual. In fact, I think you know how to shift the graph, but the difficult thing is that when you see question, you can just analyze what happened. Because if you shift the graph wrong, everything is wrong. Okay. Number 10, for each of the following events, explain the short run and long run effects on output and price level. So, okay, short term and long term. Let's see. Okay, so this one is the good example for let you analyze whether LRAS or short run AS change. First, okay, right. First one, the stock market declined sharply, reducing consumer wealth. In fact, I don't want. Okay. Explain the short run and long run effects on output and price. Number 10 is that it's not just only short run curve shift, but it can be AD as well. So you can just tell me what graph shift first. The stock market declined sharply, reducing consumer wealth. So what happened? What factor change? Reduce consumer wealth. Yes, before AD change, you should say what happened first. Consumptions reduce, right? Because consumer wealth reduce, consumptions reduce, so that's why AD reduce, or it will shift leftward first, and everything will be the same that I just tell you in the slide. the federal government increased spending, so it means that, so this one is so easy. Government increased their spending on national defense. What happened? G increase and then what graph change? AD. AD increase or reduce? AD increase. So it shift rightward first and you just explain it by your own. Technology improvement raise productivity. What graph shift? Technology. AS in it should be, do you think you just read it? Whether it should be short run or long run. Is there anything about time period? Technology improvement raise productivity. No, there doesn't say anything to be in the long term. So every shock happen in the economy should be assumed as short term. However, if the question says something about the period, you can consider to be long term. But usually if it doesn't say anything, it's short term. SRAS will increase or reduce? Increase because it raises productivity, and the short run AS curve, in fact, you want to produce more. So in this case, short run AS will shift rightward first, and everything will be on the on the opposite way, as you see in the slide. A recession overseas causes foreigner to buy fewer US goods. What factor change? NX, sure. NX for sure. But how NX change? Foreigner buy fewer US goods. Yes, NX reduce because you cannot export because foreigner not want to buy from you. Export reduce, NX reduce, and AD will reduce. So the graph will shift leftward first. So you just shift it as the same as what happened in the slide. Florida orange growth suffers a prolonged period of below freezing temperature, prolonged period. So this one is long period. You see, if it's long term, it will tell you it's long term. So it should be LRAS for sure because the factors is the natural resource, which is weather. Weather is very bad, suffers a prolonged period. So LRAS will shift leftward first. In fact, I'm not yet teaching you when LRAS curve shift first because all of the example is just only short run AS shift first. So let's see these things. I will just tell you. Because of the prolonged freezing period, so you know that the weather condition is not good. So that's why LRAS will reduce. It shift leftward. Yes. It shift leftward at any price level, you can say from LRAS 0 to LRAS 1. Okay, what point I should change? You see, AS is here. Okay, even short run AS is already at point A, right? But the long run already here. AS is here. At P0, AS already moved here, but AD is still here. So we have excess demand for goods and service and then price increase to this point. So when LRAS curve shifts, so you just see, in fact, someone can be wrong analysis by putting the point here. But what you can do is that you can just look at the same price level and see what happened on excess demand, excess supply. You will know exactly what price change, because right now AS shift leftward or backward. So AS curve, the new AS curve right now should be lower than the AD curve, which is already at the right hand side. So you know it exactly that it has excess demand. So the price should move up. Okay, because sometimes when LRAS change, it's difficult to analyze. So what happened next? So right now, at this point, the actual price is bigger than the expected price, because the expected price, actual price is bigger. So when the time passes, people will tend to know more information about the price change, and then they will just adjust their expected price. They will increase the expected price to be equal to the actual price. So you know it when the time passes in long term. So this one is short term. So this one is short term. So in the long terms, what happened? People will adjust their expected price to equal to the actual price. So expected price will increase, and then what happened? Firms will face with high costs of productions, so they not want to produce. AS curve will shift back, you see. So this one, the shipping of SRAS, you just shift it to, you just see that the new equilibrium doesn't change. So we still at point B, you see. Okay, we still at point B. It doesn't change because this shipment just already closed the gap to make the new equilibrium again. So the new equilibrium, that three lines connect together, is at point B. Because at first, the different thing is that at first you ship LRAS first. So that's why all of the new full employment equilibrium already happened at point Q1, you see. This is a new full employment equilibrium. Usually when you ship SRAS curve first, in fact the full employment stay the same, right? But this case is quite different because at first you just ship LRAS, you just change the full employment equilibrium. So at this point, the full employment equilibrium change. But usually if you ship SRAS curve first, the full employment equilibrium is the same. You just ship all of the graph, it go back to the full employment. But because in these factors, LRAS just change, so we can reach to the new full employment. So when you shift back, it just already closed the gap to make it clear that, okay, the new full employment happened at point Q1, that all of the three graphs cut together. So we can just prove just only that. So this is the case happen when LRAS curve shift first. But the case when short run AS curve shift first, it will not have this case because you still receive the same full employment equilibrium, but this one, they have a new full employment equilibrium change. If the graph shift rightward first, for example, if LRAS shift rightward first, everything will be the same, but on the opposite directions. Okay, you just shift this one rightward, and then SRS will shift rightward. It will close the gap at some point. You will get the new equilibrium. Okay, that is in fact increased job opportunity overseas cause many people to leave the country. So what do you think? There are many people leave the country. So people leave the country, people change. People is so sometimes labor, right? Labor move out of the country. So people not move in but move out. So labor will reduce and AS curve, which is short run because they doesn't take about the period. So short run AS will shift leftward. Or short run AS will reduce because no one work in the country. Suppose firm very optimistic about future business condition, draw an ADAS curve, show what happened on short run, long run. So optimistic meaning that you feel confidence about future, you feel positive way about what happened in futures when you feel optimistic. I think for me, because the question say firms become very optimistic. They say that not the people size, not the consumer size, but firms. In this question, it's not clear to me whether you will shift AD or AS. Because if I say firms very optimistic about future business, they can invest more. So if they invest more, AD will increase, right? So this one can be correct if you shift AD first. But for someone who's saying that firms would like to produce more, you can say that short run AS will shift as well. However, if you're thinking about the factors that make AS curve to shift, which is natural resource, this one natural resource doesn't change. This doesn't tell something about the technology, there doesn't tell something about capital or labor. So it feels to me that this one, the correct way is to shift AD first, because when you feel good about economy, you want to invest. So it should be AD first, that shift more than AS. But if someone analyzes that firms would like to produce more and short run AS shift, I think it may correct, it can be correct. So I can give you both score, even the shift AS curve or AD first. Okay, because it's not quite clear to me. But for me, the exact way to correct, I think it should be AD first, because they want to invest more. Because when I read here, when you feel better about economics, so it doesn't mean that the weather will be good, or the technology, or the labor, or capital will be good. So it's not that factors. But I think if you think the economy will be good, you want to invest. So I think that's why it's AD shift first. So if you don't know how to analyze, you just go back to the factors that affects the graph, and you will see what graph shift first. That's all. I hope you are happy with these factors, these chapters. In fact, there are one thing that I didn't tell you just to conclude this chapter is that when you, for the last thing that I just teach you last time, that they have a chip of aggregate supply, right? I just teach you everything. And then there are one slide that talk about this kind of things at the slide number 48. The slide number 48, they say some things about policymaker just want to chip AD, and there are some friends just asked me last time, right? So in fact, I forget to tell you these things, but it's not quite important that much, but in fact, I just let you to see. So usually, if you chip, if there are something happen and AS curve chip leftward or AS curve reduce or short run AS reduce, right? It can shift leftward and go back to the long run equilibrium, which in fact takes a long time, right? It takes very long time before AS curve go back to the equilibrium. So what the government can do in order to stop this longer period, so if government would like the economy to go back to the full employment equilibrium quite fast, so what they can do is that they will try to shift AD rightward, or they try to increase AD. For example, government will tend to increase that government project. They will reduce tax in order to make AD curve to shift rightward here. And it can close the gap if you see this picture, right? So right now we are at point B. So if government would like the economy to go back to the full employment very fast, what they do is that they just shift AD rightward. They do anything to shift AD rightward. So the gap here will close quite fast, then let the equilibrium just go leftward until the price is peak and go down again. It's quite long. So what government can do is that they can just do anything to shift AD rightward here and close this gap. Okay, and just close this gap. So this is the thing that they will say in the slide, that if in the long run, if policymakers don't want to wait, they can do anything to shift AD rightward or increase AD. And we can reach to output at natural rate at the full employment quite fast. And that is, okay, so that is the end of this chapter. I hope that you are happy more or less.